Okay, so this week we're diving deep inside the human body, which, when you think about it, is a constant battlefield. We're going to look at the secret weapons our own bodies are making, the invaders we're fighting off, and some absolutely groundbreaking new cures that are just on the horizon. Let's get right into it.
So, we're going to explore this idea, the body as a battlefield, across 5 key areas. We'll kick things off with the secrets hidden inside our own biology. Then we'll zoom in on the microbes we fight every day. After that, we'll decode how we get sick, check out the next wave of amazing cures, and finally, look at how our environment shapes our health.
All right, first up, we're looking inward. We're starting with some really surprising new connections that scientists are finding inside our own bodies. Turns out everything is way more interconnected than we ever thought.
Get this, a brand new study has found a stunning link between your body composition and your brain. It found that having more muscle and less visceral fat, that really nasty fat that's deep around your organs, is directly linked to having a biologically younger brain. Why? Well, it's because your muscles actually release these protective compounds called myokines. So building muscle isn't just about strength, it's literally protecting your mind.
And the discoveries go even deeper, showing just how complex our bodies are. For example, the latest Nobel Prize went to the discovery of regulatory T cells, which are kind of like the diplomats of our immune system, keeping the peace. In the lab, scientists managed to grow a tiny working bone marrow on a chip, a total game changer for studying how we make blood. And get this, an enzyme we thought only broke down fat, turns out it has a secret second job, switching genes on and off inside the cell's nucleus. Wild.
Okay, let's move to the next battlefield, the microscopic level. This is where we're waging a constant war against viruses, bacteria, and even fighting against these rogue proteins that are threatening our own brains from the inside out.
And what's really interesting is that our bodies might already be making a key weapon against diseases like Alzheimer's. A natural compound called spermine, well, it's been shown to act like a tiny cleanup crew, going in and neutralizing the toxic gunk that builds up in the brain with these diseases.
But while we have allies inside us, the threats on the outside are getting smarter. A new report from the Indian Council of Medical Research is a huge warning bell. Superbugs are getting way more resistant to our most common antibiotics. And this isn't a local problem. This is a massive threat for all of us.
And this image shows their battle plan perfectly. I mean, bacteria are masters of defense. They can fire up these little pumps to literally spit the antibiotic right back out. Or they can just change the target the drug was aiming for. And if that doesn't work, they'll just release enzymes to destroy the antibiotic itself. They are smart and they are adapting incredibly fast.
So we have these threats, both inside and out. But how do things actually start to go wrong? Well, 2 major new studies show a direct and frankly pretty alarming connection between our daily habits and some of the biggest diseases we're facing.
Okay, a huge study just dropped this bombshell. If you have untreated obstructive sleep apnea, your risk of developing Parkinson's disease doubles. I mean, that is a staggering number. And the obvious question is, how? Why?
Well, it's this devastating chain reaction. The pauses in breathing cause your oxygen levels to drop. This is called hypoxia. That lack of oxygen puts your cells under massive oxidative stress, which is basically them getting damaged and decaying. And that stress directly harms the exact neurons that we see being lost in Parkinson's disease. It's a straight line from poor sleep to brain damage.
Meanwhile, another finding just completely flips what we thought we knew about pollution. We used to think microplastics just passed through us. But no, this new research is crystal clear. They are getting stuck in our arteries and are actively speeding up heart disease. So they're not just passive passengers hitching a ride, they are part of the problem.
Okay, so after all that, the big question is always, how do we fight back? So let's move on to the solutions. Scientists are finding incredible new weapons, and they're looking in some of the most unexpected places you can imagine.
And believe it or not, the answer might actually be yes. The key to fighting some of our deadliest diseases might come from the very things we've always been taught to fear. Nature's deadliest creatures could be hiding our next cures. A new study found molecules in Amazonian scorpion venom that can kill breast cancer cells just as well as chemo, but with fewer side effects. That's literally turning an animal's weapon against a disease. And at the same time, new tech, a nanomicelle formulation, is basically packaging CBD into these tiny little particles that can sneak across the blood-brain barrier, making it a powerful new tool against chronic pain. Pharmacology is getting seriously creative.
And then there's this, which could be a monumental step forward. Researchers have effectively cured type 1 diabetes in mice.
Now, the key part here is the two-step process. First, they give the mice a new blood system. Then, they add the new insulin-producing cells. This creates a sort of hybrid immune system that doesn't attack the new cells. And the result? A permanent cure. This is a potential game changer for millions.
Okay, for our last section, let's zoom all the way out. Because our own personal health doesn't exist in a bubble, right? It's being constantly shaped by the world, the water, and the very air around us.
And sometimes the biggest breakthroughs aren't some complex new drug, but a really simple change. A 20-year study in Bangladesh showed this incredibly powerful result. Just by switching to wells with arsenic-safe water, death rates from things like cancer and heart disease absolutely plummeted. You can draw a straight, clear line from a public health decision to saving lives.
But the pressures on us are definitely mounting. Environmentally, you have toxic air pollution in places like Delhi that are causing a huge surge in sickness. And professionally, the system itself is getting strained. A new report shows that burnout is causing medical grads in India to move away from critical fields like general surgery. Our environment, both outside our bodies and within our society, is a powerful force.
So what this week's news really shows is that we are decoding our own biology at a breathtaking pace. We understand more than we ever have about what keeps us healthy and what makes us sick. And that leaves us with one final and I think really crucial question to chew on. Are we, as individuals and as a society, actually ready to act on everything we're learning?